I read that you actually started shooting this film on your own many years ago.
Yeah.
Why were you so passionate about this project?
Well, I wanted to direct my father, Lloyd Bridges, in a film, and I wanted to direct him in a film that my kids could see.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked through a catalog of children's books and saw this cover with a grizzled old guy on there and the Newbery Award stamp, and I thought, oh, wonderful, my dad can play that part, and it looks like a very popular book. And I later learned it was, taught in schools, and there was curriculums, based on the book and so forth. And I showed it to my dad and said, "Hey, Dad, this is something I want to do." And he said, "Great." And we're, in the show. We're from in the showbiz family,
Absolutely.
so we put on shows for each other all the time. So I got my brother's kid, Casey Bridges, to shoot it, and his younger son, Dylan, played Jonas, and I got my friend Bud Cort to read the book, and we shot the whole book.
Wow.
And in Casey's garage, I keep E and Casey. We got to find this thing, put it on the DVD as an extra or something.
Indeed. So you were playing the role that you envisioned for your father to play?
Yeah, well, I started to look more like that grizzled guy. My dad's no longer with us, so I said, well, maybe I'll step up and do this.
Mm-hmm. What is it about the story that is so compelling to you? What is it? What did it strike in you that you wanted to do this?
Well, I notice in myself how I'm sort of addicted to comfort. I like to be happy and comfortable as I possibly can, and that's something that I believe I share with most folks, and it's a challenge to us what we're willing to pay for that comfort and that happiness. And sometimes we can throw the baby out with the bathwater. We can, what do we do? What does that comfort really cost us? And by numbing ourselves to reality, the reality of suffering, what are we losing about that would make us more alive?
Indeed. Curious, do you see the Christmas story in this? Jesus Christ coming essentially to save us?
Sure, yeah. There is a lot of people will be able to see Jonas as a Christ-like, figure. One of the books that was very inspiring for me was a book called Man's Search for Meaning, written by Viktor Frankl. Are you familiar with that book? He was a Holocaust survivor, lost his whole family, his kids, his wife, his mother and father in the camps, and he survived Auschwitz. And he was also, he developed a psychotherapy called logotherapy, and he worked with Freud quite a bit. And Freud's position was that when it gets that funky, we just turn into animals. We're just totally selfish, and that's what happens to us human beings. And Frankl's position was, yes, that's true, but that's also where saints are born. That's where love has a chance to rise, and we become selfless, and miracles happen, and out of in the Buddhist philosophy, you hear these lotus flower is symbolic of enlightenment, but that comes out of the mud, that the suffering is all a part of a love and a part of life that we can't in my view, we shouldn't try to negate or push it aside to say this doesn't exist, because it's part of being alive.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
All right.